Life is not easy. It is not. Don't try to make it that way. Life's not fair. It never was. It isn't now, and it won't ever be.
You know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job.
We're blackmailed into losing your virginity a few years prior to that.
Not the ideal way to lose your virginity, but it's how I lost mine. It was very clear that, the way that it was happening to me.
Matthew McConaughey is the epitome of charm, effortlessly blending good looks with undeniable talent. Fans know him for his versatility, transitioning seamlessly from laid-back characters, like his iconic role in Dazed and Confused, to intense performances in films such as A Time to Kill and Amistad. He showcased his depth in Mud and solidified his place among Hollywood's elite with an Oscar-winning performance in Dallas Buyers Club. Beyond the screen, McConaughey is an inspiring presence, often delivering motivational speeches that resonate deeply. He emphasizes gratitude and the importance of focusing on life's journey rather than chasing empty pursuits, making him a figure of both talent and wisdom.
Certain outcome. It is result reliant. And I say if happiness is what you're after, then you're going to be let down frequently, and you're going to be unhappy much of your time. Give others and yourself more credit. It just happened. You witnessed it. You just did it. Believe it. Give your obstacles credit.
Here's the twist. McConaughey's tendency to speak his mind has led him into Hollywood's crosshairs. While the industry loves its stars to play along and keep quiet, Matthew refuses to conform. His speeches often delve into uncomfortable truths about the darker side of Hollywood, calling it out for the farce it can be. His refusal to stick to the script has left him a target, facing pushback from the very system that made him a star, and he's not alone in this. Comedian Katt from a different part of the entertainment world has echoed similar concerns, speaking out about Hollywood's powerful gatekeepers. According to Williams, if you don't follow their rules or dare to challenge the status quo, you risk being blacklisted, effectively erased from the industry's scene.
One job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job.
Besides the drama with Hollywood, Matthew McConaughey has been through a lot of tough spots, from his early days right up to after he made it big. Matthew McConaughey was born in November 1969 in Texas. Even as a student, he was popular and even bagged an award titled Most Handsome Student. However, life at home wasn't exactly smooth for the young actor. He later revealed that he witnessed violent incidents as a child, but never really thought his parents were abusive, even though he acknowledged that others would probably perceive their actions as such. He said, "I was scared at the moment, but even then and immediately after that, I didn't ever question the love that mom and dad had, or the love that they gave us." Also, while opening up about his experiences in green lights. Matthew McConaughey has also been transparent about some of the most traumatic experiences he's lived through. He wrote that his first brush with sex wasn't pleasant and that he was essentially forced into it. He explained that he was 15 years old when it happened and it was a case of blackmail. He wrote, "I was certain I was going to help for the premarital sex today. I am merely certain that I hope that's not the case." These are still over 20 years ago.
Conversations, and then all of a sudden, whoop, what we talked about shows up in the paper 3 days later. What, Mom? That was between us. Oh, I didn't think, what's fine. No.
Matthew McConaughey's path to stardom was not without its hurdles, both personally and professionally. Despite overcoming numerous hardships, including being attacked by an older man at 18, McConaughey never viewed himself as a victim. Instead, he chose to focus on the positives, stating, "I have a lot of proof that the world is conspiring to make me happy." His resilience shines through in his attitude toward life's challenges. Before achieving fame, McConaughey's early career was far from glamorous. He even tried hand modeling after receiving a compliment on his good-looking hands, though it came with a suggestion to stop biting his nails and take better care of them. During his film school days, he worked as a server at Catfish Station, a blues bar known for its catfish, beer, and a mostly black clientele. McConaughey stood out as the only white guy working there, adding another unique chapter to his journey. As McConaughey's fame grew, so did the strains on his personal life, especially his relationship with his mother, Kay. He noticed a shift in her behavior, as she became more enamored with the glitz of his success than with him as her son. Their routine catch-up calls transformed into conversations that felt more like discussions with a fan than a mother. McConaughey also shared that personal details he confided in her would often find their way into the media shortly afterward, which became unsettling for him. I was trying to find my own balance with fame, and some of those things I would share might show up in the 6 News 3 days later," he revealed.
What was your Titanic audition with Kate Winslet like? And do you think you could have done a better job than Leo?
You auditioned for Titanic?
Oh, no, I never got the role. The audition went great.
Personal and professional journey has been full of dramatic turns. One of the most notable was his strained relationship with his mother, which resulted in an 8-year estrangement. The breach of trust stemmed from her sharing personal conversations with the media, which deeply hurt McConaughey. Eventually, they reconciled, but rebuilding trust took time and effort. His life has been far from dull, marked by some truly wild moments. One such incident, which he recounts in his memoir Green Lights, happened in 1999. McConaughey, relaxing in his home late at night, was smoking marijuana and listening to African music when the Austin police burst in. They handcuffed him, charging him with disturbing the peace, possession of marijuana, and resisting arrest. His response? He refused to dress up and maintained that he was simply minding his own business at home. The charges ended in a small fine of $50, but the story became a sensation in Austin, even sparking a trend of "bongo naked" t-shirts. The early 2000s marked a significant shift in McConaughey's career. Frustrated with being typecast as the romantic comedy guy, he decided to step away from the spotlight for 20 months, a break that would later be called the McConaissance. Tired of playing the same roles, McConaughey turned down a $14.5 million offer for another rom-com, choosing instead to reinvent himself and pursue more varied, challenging roles. This strategic move paid off, as it allowed him to tackle the deeper, more complex characters that would come to define his later career. Interestingly, McConaughey has missed out on some career-defining roles. One of the most famous was the role of Jack in Titanic, a part that ultimately went to Leonardo DiCaprio. Despite these missed opportunities, McConaughey's determination and ability to reshape his career have made him one of Hollywood's most respected actors.
With Matthew, isn't that weird?
You auditioned with
I
Matthew
did.
McConaughey?
Never said that in public before.
Wow.
I did, yes, I did. I auditioned with Matthew, which was completely fantastic.
Here's a fun piece of Hollywood trivia. Kate Winslet once revealed that she actually auditioned alongside Matthew McConaughey for the role of Rose in Titanic. She admitted, "I auditioned with Matthew. Isn't that weird?" Never said that in public before. She went on to say how fantastic it was working with him, but noted how different the iconic film would have been with McConaughey in the role of Jack instead of Leonardo DiCaprio. Imagine how the dynamic between Jack and Rose might have shifted with McConaughey steering the ship. It would have certainly been a unique twist.
He told me he'd ruin my career. I said, do what you have to do. I don't care.
Matthew McConaughey's career has been filled with ambitious pursuits and occasional setbacks. One missed opportunity came when he set his sights on playing the Hulk in the Marvel Universe. He was excited about the role, but despite his enthusiasm, McConaughey was turned down, and the part eventually went to Edward Norton in The Incredible Hulk, 2008, followed by Mark Ruffalo in later films. This remains a notable what could have been in McConaughey's diverse career, as he never got to play a superhero. His commitment to roles is evident, particularly with the 2016 film Gold, where he gained 45 pounds to portray businessman Kenny Wells. Unfortunately, the movie didn't fare well critically or at the box office, and despite the physical transformation, McConaughey's effort didn't pay off commercially. Afterward, losing the weight was no easy task. In 2019, he revealed he was still working to get back into shape, mentioning that he weighed 220 pounds during filming and still had some residual weight to shed. This experience contrasts sharply with his role in Dallas Buyers Club, 2013, where McConaughey lost 50 pounds for his portrayal of Ron Woodroof, a performance that earned him an Oscar. Despite that accolade and performances in films like Interstellar, White Boy Rick, Serenity, and The Gentleman, McConaughey's box office success has often been elusive. In his memoir Green Lights, he candidly reflects on his struggles with finding consistent financial success, acknowledging that despite critical acclaim, his films haven't always made a big impact at the box office. 2016 was a particularly tough year for McConaughey. His film Free State of Jones underperformed, and Sea of Trees received negative reception, including boos at the Cannes Film Festival. It's clear McConaughey has faced his fair share of challenges in the industry, and even though he's had his hits, the path to fame has never been straightforward. Hollywood has a history of tough breaks, and even blacklisting for some stars. Take Tippi Hedren, for example, a famous name known for Alfred Hitchcock's classics The Birds and Marnie. Behind the scenes, things were incredibly difficult. After she turned down Hitchcock's advances, he retaliated by making her life unbearable. Hitchcock not only ordered the rest of the cast to avoid speaking to her, but also set up a secret adjoining door to her dressing room in Marnie to keep a constant watch on her. It's a stark reminder of how even the brightest stars can face tough battles in Hollywood.
Confession, he named Hollywood Foreign Press Association's president Philip Burke to be the assaulter. The actor claims Burke reached out to his behind, grabbed his cheek, and touched him between his legs.
Hedren's experience in Hollywood was a harsh reminder of the power dynamics in the industry. Not only did Alfred Hitchcock make her life miserable after she rejected his advances, but he also actively sabotaged her career. Hedren revealed in 2012 that Hitchcock blocked Universal Studios from submitting her performance in Marnie for an Oscar nomination, and prevented her from working for 2 years. She explained that there were no legal protections for situations like hers at the time, and if this had occurred today, she would have likely received significant compensation. Hedren's story highlights the dark side of Hollywood's power structures and the lack of recourse for women in the industry at the time. Similarly, Brendan Fraser's career faced a devastating setback after an alleged incident with Philip Burke, the former president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, HFPA. Fraser claims Burke sexually assaulted him at the Beverly Hills Hotel in 2003. In the aftermath, Fraser noticed a sharp decline in his career, with fewer invites to the Golden Globes, fewer opportunities in Hollywood, and a noticeable silence from the industry. Fraser reflected, "The phone stops ringing in your career, and you start asking yourself why. There are many reasons, but was this one of them? I think it was." Fraser's story sheds light on how incidents like these can impact an actor's career, often leading to long-term consequences that are difficult to overcome. Interview. Rose McGowan, one of the prominent women who accused Harvey Weinstein of sexual assault and harassment, has openly discussed the repercussions she faced after speaking out.